Hello, it's Space Raptor, and we're on Simraceway again. And this time, I'm going to use my McLaren. Just bought this car. Not the game, the car. This is Edmonton Airport, and yet another track in the game. And this is going to be like the full session, so it's going to be coming off the track. It's going to be everything in there, you know what I mean? Just to show how challenging the game is. This is cockpit view. Oh, I've got a problem here with my controller, so I'm just fixing that at the minute. Told you it's completely unedited. So this is just going to be the session. I'm on cold tyres, and I'm going to show you different views. This is obviously the car I'm in. I'm going a little bit too fast in the pit lane there.
Speed limiter is off.
Because it's a hot lap, the pit lane rules aren't as strict, so it's not too much of a problem. And we're just going to go around here, heat them tyres up a little bit, and get a few really quick laps in if we can. That corner is so challenging, and as I said, I've just come off the track. I'm on cold tyres. I don't know what I was thinking trying to go around that fast. We're coming up to a little S bend here. That, again, it's quite hard to get around, especially at speed. I'm quite proud of the fact that there's quite a few hundred people play this game, and on the leaderboards overall on this track I'm sat in 36th position. So, and that's with a gamepad. I'm playing with a gamepad here. Just an Xbox 360 controller that works with PC. It's the wireless one, it's not wired, you know, and I'm getting some really decent lap times with it. So people that say, oh, you definitely need a wheel to start, I'd say, no, you don't. Please, if you want to start sim racing, don't wait. If you don't have an Xbox 360 controller and you're only sat there with your mouse and keyboard on a PC, it is a PC only game, this. So that's your only thing that you really need, is a decent, not the best, because I haven't got the best gaming PC and it runs fine on my PC. It's a DirectX 9 game, so it's actually optimized really, really well. So it looks fantastic, and it's not going to kill your PC if you've got a moderate PC. If you've only got a mouse and keyboard, don't worry. There are plenty of mouse and keyboard drivers out there.
57.75.
Some of them just use the keyboard, others just use the mouse to drive with, and they tell me that is very, very accurate.
This lap will not count.
Oops, there's another guy on the track there, and I nearly took him out. Oh. So, whatever input method you've got, you can probably start in this game. So easy. Obviously, the best way to experience a game like this, I've got to say, is with a wheel. You know, it's the input method of choice for most sim drivers. But there are various forms of wheels out there that can be inexpensive. In fact, Simraceway have actually developed their own wheel with Steel Series, and they make some really good quality gaming products. Like they're up and coming. Like the gaming headsets are supposed to be really, really good, and they do. You know, their wheel is a quality wheel.
You went off track. The lap won't count.
Oops, and there you go, I've just wrecked the car, so we'll have to start again. But yeah, the Simraceway wheel works very much like the speed wheel, and I'm
Speed limiter is off.
and I've just wrecked again. So, as I said, completely unedited this. See, you're gonna get to see what a challenge it is to
Speed
drive,
limiter is off.
and that's actually much better. But I'm going off tangent. What I was talking about is the Simraceway wheel. It works like the speed wheel for the Xbox 360, so you can just hold it in your hands. But it's a lot more technical than the Microsoft controller. It looks like a Formula 1 car wheel, and literally every button on it does something in the game. So there's a lot of paddle shifters on it, and there's a lot of buttons, so you can just race with your hands. It doesn't have force feedback on it, because you couldn't with a handheld, and I don't think it has rumble either. Not sure about that because I don't own one, but that is a wheel consideration and would be better than a gamepad. I know one of the drivers on here, he uses that exact setup and he's phenomenally fast in the game. So obviously your next jump up would be a force feedback wheel. But whichever way you wish to start in sim racing, just jump in and do it. And then if you find you really enjoy this type of game, then you can maybe start adding a little bit of extra money to your hobby. But just start, see if you enjoy it. Get the immersion, get the community, get talking to people, see if it's what you like. I think we're gonna try because I seem to be getting my laps going here, so maybe try for a hot lap here. See what happens.
57.05.
Go in here.
You've just
Go in
done
here.
the fastest lap on this track.
But my actual hot lap that we need to beat is about 54/700ths of a second or something like that. So that's probably what I'm going to be aiming for eventually in this little session. It's only about a half-hour session. Again, I find these hot laps are really good for learning tracks. So if there's a quick race on one of these tracks that I've kind of memorised, I'm going to stand a really good chance, whatever the car is, because I kind of know the corners, I know what gears to use. And as I say, it's just memorising the tracks.
55.59. You've just done the fastest lap on this track.
So as you can see, we're just getting that little bit closer here. I'm not going to guarantee that I don't crash. But this is a phenomenally fast car. It cost me in-game credits to buy this car. It was 2,500 credits. It took me probably a couple of weeks to earn all that, while I was buying other cars as well. So I have 6 cars that I actually own in this game. And I've been playing for a couple of weeks, so I don't think I've done too bad. I think things are relatively inexpensive in it. And you can earn all these cars, and that's what I like about it.
You've just done the fastest lap on this track.
I'm not really geared up towards subscribing to a service and then having to pay for the cars and then pay for the tracks. Not when I can get something of the same quality
Went off track.
for free.
The lap won't count.
And I've just got disqualified on the lap, so See if I can keep going round. But that, again, that's all down to the real driving physics here, that it is quite challenging to drive. I'm not going to lie to you. You pretty much got to like driving games, I think, to get the best out of Simraceway. But if maybe you've tried driving games before and they bore you because they're just kind of repetitive and not challenging, maybe try this, because it is a challenge and it actually gives you a bit of added depth. So as you can, it may hold your interest, is what I'm trying to say. So for free, again, it's for no money. You're not losing anything. You don't have to buy cars in it. You can earn cars in it. It's a bit laborious, and you've got to be very patient the way you earn cars, because for every lap you do, I think you get 5 credits, something like that.
5.28.
And the car I just bought was 2,500 of these credits, and I'm off
You
track
left the
again.
track. This lap will not count.
Seems that is going to be the order of the day, me coming off the track a lot. But this is a brand new car to me. It's probably only my 3rd time in it. So this doesn't really matter, so I can take the next few bends. If I can take them well, I can maybe set up a hot lap. I'm going to try and change the camera view as well, just so as you're getting a look at the car as well, the car model. I think I'm going to do that a bit later on. Let's try and get this hot lap now. Second gear around this corner, nice and wide. Straight up, get into 5th. Brake, drop down into 3rd. Take this S-bend. Back into 4th.
Off track. The
I'm
lap
off
won't
track.
count.
Just think I needed to hold back on the power a little bit there. Just went a bit too much on the accelerator. See, I've played other racing games like Forza. One of my favourites that really did hold my attention actually was Need for Speed Shift. I thought that was a phenomenal game by Slightly Mad Racing, or Slightly Mad Studios. I think they're in London actually, they're a development studio. And for me, they did the best racing simulator I'd seen at that point, because it was more about racing and less about car models. Yeah, the handling wasn't phenomenally realistic, but actually when you come into Simraceway, where you know it's realistic, it kind of handles a little bit like Shift, and you'd be surprised just how spot on they did get that game, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, because I did realise at the time that
5.89.
Oh, that's well off the pace. Let's see if I can. It's not well off the pace, but I need to shave another second off there or so, and I'll be happy. But this is just a practice session. I wasn't really going for hot laps or anything. Obviously, if I can do a quick lap, I'd try, you know what I mean? But it's about learning a new car. I've drove this track a few times, but the cars are so different to each other. Each time you go around in a different car, it's a new challenge, which I think is absolutely fantastic and just really holds my interest in the game.
54.05. Awesome, you've set a new fastest
There you go.
lap.
That is my fastest lap. And that 36th now is that's going to be a better lap for me. For sure. Oh! And it all went a bit pear-shaped. So, I think this time when I come into it, I'm going to change the view, show you the car. I don't drive usually in that kind of view, so I'm probably going to drive it quite badly. But, as I say, this is unedited, so... And... into gear.
Speed limiter is off.
I will just get this lap out of the way first. Because your first lap doesn't count because you've come out of the pit lane. Straight up this straight. Just about hit 5th gear before you have to change down. Held that corner a lot better that time. I know I probably sound very over enthusiastic about this game. It's just because it's new to me, and to be honest, I bought Grid Autosport quite recently and was very disappointed in the game, to be fair. I enjoyed Grid, the original game, and I heard it was going to be more like that. And yeah, the handling model's similar and everything, but I don't know, one of the things that I didn't like about it is kind of made the car physics were just overly hard without being realistic, and that just bugged me. And one of the other things that really bugged me about the game was the over-aggression of all the other drivers in it. Like, they're just drones going round. There's no intelligence to what they're doing. You can just sit on the track
55.77.
and they'll just ram into you if you're just sat there doing nothing, you know. And it's just kind of an overly aggressive owl. But I think I just got a bit brassed off with racing artificial intelligence. So, and in this I get to race real people who are making real world mistakes.
You went off track. The lap won't count.
Oh, and I did say I was going to show you some of the car, and I will do in a minute. Pretty certain. See, I'm doing a voiceover here. If I try to do this live and talk to you, I can barely keep the car on the track as it stands. If I was talking live as well, I'd stand little to no chance. I don't feel I'm cheating. I'm pretty new to making YouTube videos as well. One of the things I find quite challenging actually is queuing up audio to video. I'm not a master at it yet. So I tend to do a lot of my videos post commentary.
50.99. 5.14. You left the track. This lap will not count.
And that's me spinning the car completely. And still spinning. And I'm back on track. Once you get a bit of grip under them tyres, you're fine. But just like a real car, you're trying to, especially a supercar, you try driving that on grass. There again, if I had a supercar, I'd be driving it a lot more carefully than I would be driving this, which, after all, is a game. It feeds your fantasy to be able to drive this car as fast as you would, as the manufacturer intended it to be driven. And if you crash it, it doesn't matter, you just get a new one.
You went off track. The lap won't count.
And there you go, and that's the car I'm driving. As you heard, the sound changed. Sounds are very good in this game, actually, I must admit. Actually, to be honest, I seem to be able to slide this car around more when I can see the car. I don't think I'm going to get another fast lap in. But this was just a little half-hour session to just show more of the gameplay off. I may show one of the quick races. One of the problems with that is I think I would prefer to have the consent of everybody racing, that they know I'm making a YouTube video, and basically, you know, to get people's consent really. I think it's a bit naughty to show, because it shows their name above the car, and I don't really want to be upsetting anybody. It's quite a small community, and you know, I don't want to burn my bridges in this game, put it that way. So if I could get consent from people to show a quick race, I'll show some actual racing.
7.63.
These aren't particularly fast laps, but I'm having quite a lot of fun, and I have set one fast lap in the session, which will put me up in the leaderboard, so hopefully I'll be in 30th position. One of the cool things about this game actually is it doesn't automatically go up onto the leaderboard, and I'm guessing that the reason for that, because it does take quite a few hours, or at least an hour, to get that time verified, and that's the key thing. You're not seeing silly lap times at number one, like 0.0.1. You know, nobody can do a lap in that time, and it's quite obvious that person cheated. But in a lot of games, you see that is the top score, and for me, it's kind of, it demoralises me to a point. Well, that guy's obviously cheated. I can't get the number one spot. Why bother? And it does. It just hits me with a why bother. And the developers aren't really moderating that. And it's a pity, you know what I mean? Whereas here, they really care. I think they've got to verify your lap time to make sure there's no foul play. They probably re-watch it. Yeah, that's a fast lap, and you get your lap time. and it gets recorded. So as of yet,
6.7.
I won't be able to check what that is. Maybe in a later video I'll tell you what I got from this. But I
You
guess
left the track. This lap will not count.
I'm guessing it's probably somewhere between 28th position and 32nd. It's a relatively small track this. There is a bigger track here. Obviously, like Silverstone can be broken up into the IndyCar track, the international track, the national track, the international track, and the Grand Prix track. Exactly the same here. You've got an Indy track here, which is a little bit longer. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Top Gear track in Forza 4. Probably because it's set in an airport. Same kind of thing. But we got another person on track here. So I'm probably going to wrap this up here. Because I don't have the track to myself anymore.
The lap won't count.
Yeah, and we're just going to come into the pits. Careful not to speed.
Take it easy in
They're
the
just
pit lane.
parking.
Remember the limits. Speed limits are on.
Thank you very much for watching my video.